Good morning, racers. We are live with the 1.31 update. You can see here that they've got the cars added like we expected. They added a couple layouts for the Nürburgring. There are some new circuits, which also have new cafe menus. It looks like, I think the cafe menus are just purchasing cars, so I don't think there's going to be any more challenges with that. They've added designers. That's when you walk into the cafe and they talk about the car. I don't know if anyone actually enjoys that. I mean, it's fine. I don't usually bother. But there's a lot of, there's changes to the physics models. There are changes to, let me see. There's new pricing available in legend cars. I don't know if that benefits us or hurts us. But there's a lot of little things they've changed that we may not notice. So I did look at the legendary cars, and I was expecting these to be very expensive, just because the 959 was like crazy influential in the car world and very limited production because it was just built as a homologation car. But it's actually, I mean, from what I would say, what I was expecting, I think it's cheap. Let's take a quick look at it. This is a car I was anticipating, so I'm all about it. Pretty simple interior, which is what you'd expect. But it was one of the first cars with a height option, adjustable height. It's four-wheel drive. It's where the GTR got its drivetrain from. I mean, not directly, but they bought one of these and disassembled it and figured out the drivetrain in order to develop the GTR's drivetrain, and they improved upon it. But it was definitely the inspiration for the GTR. Let me see here. And it inspired purchasing, or not purchasing. It inspired the F40's development as well, because Ferrari saw Porsche getting into the Group B development, and the F40 was made for Group B. Neither one of these cars actually made it into the race, just because they were, they took a little too long to develop. And Group B, for what it was, I mean, very dangerous. It was getting people killed, fans and drivers. So they ended up banning it before these cars got released. This car I don't know as much about. Very beautiful. I'll look into it, and heck, it looks, I mean, it's pretty sparse inside, but it doesn't have any liveries or anything like that. It almost looks like a road car, but I'm sure it's a race car. And we could do the learn more, but you can do that on your own as well. So I won't put you through that. Well, we're going to go ahead and purchase all these cars, or at least the legendaries. The other three cars are available in Brand Central, so we're not as. I'm not going to get into this one quite yet. See, that the other three cars are available in Brand Central, so we don't have any kind of rush to pick them up. Especially with what we're seeing with the Escudo and the Ford Roadster, where they're just not coming back into Legendary. When I see these cars hit Legendary, it's something I definitely want to push on. So here we've got the DTM Audi. This is from 2019. I'm not going to buy this quite yet because it's, there are two $20 million cars in Legendary right now that I don't own. Oh man, that steering wheel's nuts. And I don't know what that thing in the center is. It's like a gauge with pull handles on it or something. I don't know what that is. This is like a technology, I don't know. That's insane. You sit way low in this car and way back. You're like way back by the B pillar on this thing. So very interesting. So that's the Audi. That's our German car, and then the Japanese cars we got are arguably less interesting. We got the van from Toyota. Alphard Executive. I don't even know what this is. I don't think they ship these things. I know we don't get them in the States, but I don't know if they go out of Japan or what. Big old vehicle. And vans are pretty big in Japan for customization and things like that. Full seats. Looks like we might have a DVD player. Oh, nice. That's nice. It's a lounge. Lounge seating, captain's chairs in the back. So if you have friends you want to bring along with you, you got memory seats. Three memory seats. That's pretty. I've never seen 3. I don't know that you need 3. And I mean, obviously you don't in the game, but this is pretty plush. That's crazy. I get why it's 75 grand. V6. That's disappointing. So if you need a nice, comfortable vehicle to get you to the track, hey, why not? Let's see what we got from Mazda. That's the Mazda 3 from 2019. It's the hatchback. So let's take a look here. This is another one. I mean, this isn't a bad car. This is just kind of like, it just is what it is. Nice interior. Those red seats are pretty loud. But yeah, 37,000, not bad. They're nice cars. They're just we have legendary cars that are being added. We have race cars, and then we've got the van and something that's more attainable, and you see it on the road regularly, so it's a little less exciting. Well, let's take the 959 and actually let's hit the cafe first. I'm sure the extra I've been working pretty hard on getting all the cars purchased. Oh, we need to buy the van right now apparently. And I need, oh, sweet, okay. So one of the cars I need is the new Ford GT. That's actually a car that's been on my mind regularly. I love that car. It's gorgeous, and I haven't purchased it because I haven't. So let's go ahead and grab those, and we'll complete these tickets. It looks like you're going to get roulette tickets from them, so not too exciting, but it's something we can do right now. Yeah, the Ford GT is just, it's not bad. It's just expensive. So I haven't put the money into it yet. And we gotta pick a color. I don't want the blue and white is pretty nice. Let's just go with that. We can always change it up. And let's go buy our van. And that's the wrong spot. My fingers got ahead of my brain. I'll go with white. Why not? Now the reason I put them as a this one was pretty obvious, but the reason I put them as a check mark for the wish list in the cafe menu is sometimes you have cars that are slightly different, and if you do, then you may not know which one to pick. So that just made it a little easier. All right, so let's go ahead and Toyota family car. I built a Prius too, so we've already got that. And the Crown, I built one for the engine swap. I have one that's regular, and then I've won them as well. So they're pretty common on the roulette table. Cultural value. And we'll get into some races with the 959 here in just a moment. Yeah. Prius, we know about it. So I have a Prius that I built up. I thought it'd be fun to have a high performance Prius. It's not fun. The engine is separated from the drivetrain. It's an electric car with the engine working as a generator. So there's no shifting. There's nothing like that. The quintessential Japanese family hauler, the minivan. Is this a minivan? Yeah, see, minivan culture. Yeah, it's different over there. They modify them heavily. It's almost like, you know, what we see here with some of the tuner cars. So highly successful in terms of marketing and sales for them. Just you know, it's not. I don't know that it's going to have much of a home here. I'm hoping with the wide body kit, it looks a little ridiculous, and you know, I hope you can make something interesting out of it. But we'll see. And then I'm just going to write free puppies on the side. Okay, the Ford GTs. Now, if you don't have the 66 Ford GT, it's actually a GT40. These are just GTs due to copyright laws. Somebody else owns the rights to GT40, and Ford was like, yeah, we're not going to pay you, so keep it, and we'll just take the 40 off. But if you don't own the actual race car, they cycle through Legendary, and I don't think that one's been an issue showing up. I've watched some interviews with people that own the two new cars, and they actually prefer the older vehicle for driving. I haven't really messed with either of them. I think I have driven the Ford GT40, but I think it's been once. So it's not that it's bad. It's just there's so many cars in this game that you drive them, and you have a tendency to forget they are in there. Good Lord. Long-winded here. This is the infamous photo that they feel Ken Miles got robbed. And I guess in the Ford versus Ferrari movie, it was pretty accurate, but Ken Miles was more of a team player than they made him out to be. That's Hollywood. You need more drama than there is. He was a race driver. He's a good guy. Competitive for sure, but they have to build that tension. Oh my God. They got a lot to talk about here. We're just gonna speed through this. All right, we got our. I don't see. I guess they got new conversations here. We'll skip that. I'm not here to talk to imaginary people. Maybe I am. All right, so we got the 959. I haven't modified it at all. I'm not getting flagged on our new races either. So we got the Nürburgring. Let's see here. Okay, we got green flags apparently. So we haven't done either of those. We got a 800, 3-lap 800 PP. That's going to be three laps of the Nürburgring, so that's going to be long. It's 200,000, so that's not bad. Four-wheel drive challenge. Let's see what track that is, because that's only 40. Okay, that's the F1 circuit. Yeah, it's going to be the long. Okay. All right, so those will both be fun. What else are we looking at? I think they said something about Tokyo. Oh, we got 2 laps of. That's four-wheel drive challenge. We can jump in this right now. Let's just leave the car stock, because if the van's doing that well, we should be able to do pretty decent with the. Oh, Japanese. Never mind. We're done. Usually it flags the new races. I don't know. Okay, we can still go through the bottom here, so you can check and see. I mean, this one's hard because there's so many races. I think Kyoto had something. Porsche 650 PP. Okay, so we can probably buy some tires on this thing and put it right where it needs to be. We don't have tire wear or anything anyway, so let's just throw some racing tires on this thing, and that should push us right where we need to be. And if we lose, we lose. Yeah, that's pretty close. So let's take the 959 out. So this car has it's a very straightforward windshield, which is the way cars more typically were back then. So it's got if you feel like you're really sitting upright. And this car was knocking on the door at 200 miles an hour. It kind of inspired that race as well, like to have a production car break 200. That's why I'm really surprised at how reasonably priced it is by legendary motor standards. You can see on the dash, I don't know if those are buttons or indicator lights, but it had height adjustable suspension. It had I mean, this car was made for off-road. It was a rally car. They say it tends to err towards front-wheel drive, which is almost more like the Lancer. I don't think we have tire wear on. Oh! It doesn't seem like it's going... I mean, it seems to have plenty of oversteer. I don't think I can adjust the diff, the center diff. I'm sure that's an option as you upgrade the car. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I haven't purchased it yet, so it's not factory equipped. I don't think any of them are, though. Even the cars that have adjustable center diffs, I don't think they have it built in until you buy it. Yeah, this car throws the back end out way more aggressively than I expected. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen one of these in real life. I was in traffic at a stoplight and it looked like a 959 pulling out. I got photos of it. I'll upload those on when I review the car. But it had the wrong wheels on it, and I get the feeling it was not a real one, like it was a kit. Because this is a car where I don't even think if it may come with the one lug. Come on now. The one lug mounting for the wheels, like F1 style. And I'm pretty sure the wheels themselves were pretty integral into the car's design in terms of, like, I think they had some functional aspects to them. I'll look into that as well. But the wheels themselves were pretty special, so it wasn't like something where you just want to swap the wheels out. And especially on a car like this. I mean, this is... It's not that car. You don't buy a 959 and start modding it. I mean, we're going to, but you don't really do that. But if the wheels are easy to switch, maybe they bought it and swapped the wheels in order to have cheaper tires. A lot of these supercars, especially the classics, they have like very custom tire setups. So you can't just go to, Tire Kingdom and purchase some tires for it. They don't exist. You have to buy like $40,000 custom tires. Got a 6-speed. That was actually pretty rare back then. I am skipping out on using the clutch right now. There you go, we got a 959 in front of us. Oh God. Look out, buddy. Just go by. Just go by. And I don't know my kilometer to mile per hour conversion off the top of my head, but it looks like the TAC goes, or the speedo goes all the way to 340, which is nice. A lot of the cars in the game, when you're using the VR setup, they just bury the speedometer, so you can't really tell how fast you're going. And it's not as necessary in a race environment, but it'd be nice to know for some of these when you're reviewing, just because it gives you a better idea of how the car is going to compete. I mean, if you get a car that does, 200 plus miles per hour versus one that is hitting 160, you can't necessarily feel the difference. I just experienced that with racing the damn, we're still in second. Or reviewing the 370Z. It felt slower than the Italia, and it was not, so. Little sneak peek there. And that video will be going live tomorrow, so just kind of be on the lookout for it. Okay, we got another lap to run this guy down. This car corner is really flat and is really stiff for what it is. I mean, we haven't done anything to it yet. We'll see if it even allows for mods. Some of these legendary cars don't really let you touch them too much. And I didn't even look in the settings. But it's 600 performance points, so I would still expect there to be an upgraded turbo and upgraded suspension and brakes and that sort of thing, so some of that stuff comes pre-installed. But other than tires, we're running stock, so we haven't stiffened it up on our own. A little snip there of the track. All right, we got him. Cool, it's a nice car, and we actually have a little money left over after our spending spree, so we can actually do some upgrades to it now and see what's available. I thought this car was going to be 10 million all day long. I'm happy to see it's not. I don't think a lot of that stuff is necessary, and there's two $20 million cars in the shop right now, which it's obnoxious. But it also keeps you playing, it keeps you grinding. They want you to be in the game. All right. So let's mod the car, and then let's try to jump into the other one here. Let me know in the comments though if you were looking forward to any of these cars. I love the 959 since I was a kid, so that was something I didn't even know they were going to release it. I just felt they should. So I'm happy they agreed. But is there a car you're looking for, or one of these cars? Which one of them was the most important in your opinion? Yeah, we're making a lot of progress on this car. It's got anti-lag. That's typical of a rally vehicle. It doesn't look like a rally car. Like, you don't look at the 959 and think, you know, man, that's gonna beat up on the Subaru. But it was meant to compete with like the Audi Quattro and the Group B cars. It wasn't one of the cars. Oh, here we go. Almost missed that. And no four-wheel steering. I don't recall if this car had four-wheel steering or not. And this isn't necessarily accurate. Like the GTRs did have four-wheel steering, and they don't show it. Okay, let's hop into our other new Porsche. It's probably going to be at the bottom. I don't like the way they sort these things. I feel like the new cars end up going to the top of the list of cars you haven't driven. So it's like right in the middle of nowhere. I've driven some of these. Alright, let's just sort by... I feel like I haven't driven that yet. Viper. This car was silver and it didn't really stand out, so I might have even seen it and kept moving. Here we are. Car sounds good. Let's see if there's any mods available for it. It's probably the big wing in the back, but I don't know if I'm going to put that on there. Well, I got a front splitter. I think I'll end up leaving this alone. Oh, no, that's alright. Little lip spoiler. That's pretty cool. So let's go with it. It's not so obnoxious. Give it a little bit of aero. We'll leave the wheels. We'll leave the wheels alone for now. And this car we're going to build up first. It's what, 500 points? Okay, so nothing. We'll buy the kits here to get us a little flexibility. I pretty much always use the medium turbo. I just like that it spools quicker. I feel like you get more use out of it. I've seen it where you don't even get the horsepower or torque numbers as high on the high-end one anyway. I mean, it's not often, but it happens. That's just where it takes so long to spool up. All Alright, let's see if we can find a place to play with this car. We're at 662. This would have been a nice car for that last course. Okay, nothing, nothing, nothing. And I'm just looking at the bottom here, looking for anything that's missing. Nothing. I'm not going to make you watch running the Nürburgring. 3 laps on the Nürburgring is going to take some time. We could try, well, that's 4-wheel drive and Japanese. That's not going to work. Okay, not a lot there. Got nothing, nothing. I don't remember what they had at Tokyo. Are there more than one? No. Alright, so yeah, we'll go back to Kyoto, and I'll have to detune this a little bit. Which tires did I put on this thing? Soft, so if we put on hards, that should put us right where we need to be. Yep, there we go, and we are at... And we'll leave it alone, that's fine. Leaving a little bit of power on the table. And let's do some modification to the suspension here. This car I was a little less interested in anyway. I don't, it's not that I'm not interested, I just don't know about it. So I'm going to stiffen it up. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see if I ruin it. Let's take this to 2.8. Make it a stance, boy. Alright. I don't know what we'll be doing there. We need more speed. Let's just put it right around there. And let's increase our downforce as well, since it's letting us. Alright. Fully thought through. We'll see when I review the car if those settings stay the same. I have like a base setup that I kind of go to, and I actually have the springs a little less stiff on this car than what I normally do. Oh, hold on. Okay, make sure you're looking forward when you get into the in-car view. There we go. So with the modifications we made, the car feels a lot more responsive than the 959 did, but that's to be expected. This is I think this is a race car. The lack of livery kind of throws me off with it, but and it's actually, I mean, the chrome rings around the gauges are it's a relatively beautiful car. Swooping body lines, I mean, it may be a race car, but it may be a homologation car as well. And it's not it's not too powerful either. So I mean, this isn't like this isn't a beast out here. We didn't have to do a whole lot to make it qualify for the 650. Just tire swap, and we're still on race tires. So this may just be a road car. Oh boy. It doesn't look like a typical Porsche. I mean, when you close your eyes and look at Porsche in your mind, this isn't what comes to my mind at all. It does look like we still have the fuel cell in the front. And I'm sure the engine's behind us. I mean, you can tell that just by the low nose and we will end up putting some wheels on this thing. Those truck wheels aren't. They're not so pretty. Yeah, we're having a much easier time cutting through the pack here. Fender mounted mirrors are nice. I'm sure they're not very nice for actual ownership, being you'd have to get out of the car to adjust the mirror, and then when you're out of the car you can't tell which way the mirror is facing, so you have to jump in and out and in and out and in and out, and then God help you if you adjust the seat after that. I don't know if this car is fast enough to be a contender on the Tokyo Expressway. I also want to check the cappuccino and make sure they didn't make any adjustments there where the car doesn't qualify anymore. No 6-speed on this car, which makes sense. It's probably a 4-speed in stock form. A lot of these vintage cars are set up that way, and then as you mod the transmission, it throws in the extra gear. Can't see a layout on there. Yeah, I don't have any urge to change the suspension setup. It's feeling good. .959 is going to need a little work. That car I really expected to push, but it actually was pretty happy to oversteer. And I'm interested if they are going to make the rally version. That car ended up running in Dakar. and it was lifted. And the reason that I think that is that what is it? The Italia Design VGT that came out. That car had the lowered version, and you could buy the lifted version as well. And that was Gran Turismo's take on the height adjustable suspension. You purchased either setting. So I'm wondering, I'm feeling like they're going to build the race variant and have it lifted. Because why wouldn't you? I mean, that's easy development right there. You got the chassis, you got everything set up. Just lift the car. It's not like we don't swap suspension all the time. So you're basically paying twice as much from their perspective to get a livery, maybe some rally lights, and a lifted car. And I can't lie, I'd buy it. I mean, I like driving the cars, but I'm almost in collector mode now, where a lot of what I'm doing is buying the car in order to review it and in order to collect it and add it to my roster. Man, this is way better than... I didn't expect anything on this car. I didn't know anything about it. This car feels great. Little slide there. And we'll go ahead and drive our van next too, just to see what it's like. So my first impressions on these cars, I mean, it's not apples to apples because I didn't mod the 959. They're both, the 959 is worth buying just because of what it is, and they're not priced the way I thought they would be. It's not a you know, $10 million car. So you can pick up both of these cars for, let's take a quick look here before we go back to race the van. I can't believe we got a 4-star for that. New track, new car. Okay, so the 904 is more expensive than I realized, but it's still fine. So the 904 you can pick up after racing for about 2 hours on some of these grind tracks, and 959 hour and a half. So they're definitely worth the cost of entry. They're not excluded. And a lot of these cars, I mean, they rotate in and out of stock, and you don't know when you're going to see it again. So I would definitely pick them up when you can. Let's hop in the van, and this is a no limit race, so we're gonna go nuts here. I don't think we're gonna have to try too hard to find this thing. Just passively look for a giant van. There it is. Four-wheel drive, 6-cylinder, so that's pretty cool. And let's go all in on it. Oh, no wide body. Okay, I'm instantly disappointed. I wanted this thing to, oh, I wanted to look like the. I think in Germany they have racing vans and things like that. They're nuts. Let's see here. Okay, that's all right. I like the way it flared out with the chrome. Good enough. A little rear diffuser. We lose our antenna. No satellite radio. Oh well. I feel like this thing needs neon. We're gonna have to go Grand Theft Auto on this thing. Just send it over to one of the shops there and get it hooked up. Actually, I want to put wheels on it too, and not so much for the styling, but we'll do BBS and the wheels I'm looking at I couldn't buy anyway. This isn't as much for the styling as it is for the width. I don't know why I'm feeling these, but I'm feeling these. That's good. Yeah, those don't look good on there at all, but it's fine. It'll work. I feel like you can tell when Gran Turismo puts in a car that they are gonna. They know you're not into it because they force it on you. They forced it with the cafe race or with the cafe menu, and they forced it with some of these races. So they're like, hey, we're gonna do what we want, and we're gonna make you do what we want. So enjoy. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know enough about this or anything at all, so maybe this is a great vehicle that handles awesome and is going to surprise everybody. Okay, we got no limits here, so we're going all in. No four-wheel steering. Nothing else to... I don't know if we could put nitrous on this, but I'm not going to bother. We are at 661. I don't know what we're up against. No limit to me sounds easy, but they could be allowing whatever they want too. Who knows? Maybe they got the Escudo in this. Let's see if these sway bars can keep this thing from rolling. I dropped the camber a little bit on the front end. I feel like it gives me a little bit more turn in. 300 should be good. And that'll do. I don't care so much about downforce. R32s out here. R34s. Let's see if we can make it turn. Yeah, it's doing all right. I don't think that's a 22B. Oh, what is this, the Mazda? Is that all-wheel drive? I'm gonna have to take a double glance at that thing. See, we spiked the speedometer because they don't expect us to be doing this. So we have no clue what speed we're doing. I don't imagine this thing's going to break 200 though. Two laps, we can do this real easy. Yeah, it looks like we are aerodynamically limited. I'm a little split on how I feel about the weight reduction they do on these cars. In reality, if you spent all that time and oh boy, missed my gear. If you spent all that time and money on reducing the weight, you'd look back and there'd be no seats in the vehicle and no carpets. And usually the no carpet thing is more about roll cages and fire, more than the weight. I mean, carpets are pretty light in modern vehicles, especially if it's a performance car. But you wouldn't have the radio, you wouldn't have the center console. Any of this stuff would be just yanked out in a racing environment. But it's still nice in the video game world to see the pleasant interior and still have the leathers and, you know, that sort of thing. The headliner. I mean, you'd yank that junk out. You don't need that. Especially headliners and things like that. Because it's weight and it's up high. And we're turning real flat. I mean, this thing's doing pretty well. I mean, those sway bars are working overtime. But I'm going to let you guys go, and you enjoy the rest of your day. If you would, like and subscribe if you made it this far. And I am finishing up the 370Z footage for the review, so that's coming early tomorrow. And I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out, so I'd hate for you to miss it. But we'll see how these cars are lining up on the list. And in the meantime, just have a great day.